Hello again, everybody. Here's my Remington 870 Police Magnum project completed. And if you saw the intro, you'll remember this was formerly a police shotgun. It was given to me by a police officer friend of mine. And just a very basic gun, kind of beat up, but it's a very good shotgun, very rugged. It's got the police Magnum features versus the Express, which includes metal trigger housing instead of plastic, some beefier springs, and the parkerized finish, which of course doesn't matter now. But anyway, this is the completed gun. It turned out really nice. Let's walk through it. I'll try to be fairly quick. The Mossberg video was a little long, but there's a lot of stuff on here. For starters, like I said, the 870 Police Magnum is the base gun, and I received it as a gift with the Choate magazine extension, the 2-shot mag extension. So that was a nice feature. And the gun was Duracoated, so you'll notice right away the whole thing is in flat dark earth. And I chose the Magpul flat dark earth shake and spray kit, which I don't know if you can tell or not, it really doesn't quite match the Magpul flat dark earth of the polymer components that are on the firearm, but it's pretty close, and I don't think it looks bad. In fact, it kind of looks cool in a way to have a little bit of a two-tone, but certainly it's not an exact match, just so you know. And I've come to understand that Magpul uses different color strengths in their different runs, so they're not really always going to quite match up. In fact, even the cheek riser that is on the SGA stock back there doesn't quite match the stock. So anyway, that was step one, was Duracoating the firearm. I Duracoated the receiver, the barrel, which is an 18-inch police barrel, and the mag tube extension. Everything else was left alone. And let's start on the front of the gun here. For starters, this is the last thing I just did to the gun. I'm really happy with it. Are these Williams Firesight fiber optic sights. Inexpensive, $35 I believe it was. And check this out. This is the ultimate solution. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out a good sight solution. I wanted iron sights for the gun, but had the rifle sights already on the barrel. Did not want to spend the money to tap and drill and tap the receiver and the barrel and all that, and spend a bunch of money getting the ghost ring sights on there. So this is a very economical solution that I think is honestly probably just as good. The fiber optic sights look great. These are made of aluminum. They're high quality, not junk at all, man. These are good sights, and I haven't sighted the gun in yet. I haven't fired it yet. I'm trying to let the Duracoat settle in a little bit more, but bolted right on there. Just replaced the rear aperture, and I just drifted out the standard front sight with a punch and drifted this one in, and I mean, geez, it fits perfect. That looks great. Really happy with that. What a great idea. Finally, to have a simple solution that doesn't involve spending a bunch of money on your barrels and on your receiver. So anyway, those are the Williams fire sights, the ghost ring sight set for the Remington 870. Like I said, got the Choate 2-round extension on the front, so this is a 7+1. Got the Surefire, I'm sorry, not the Surefire, the Magpul forward sling mount. I'll flip the gun over here. You can see it's got the MS3 sling on there. But let's go ahead and turn the gun around here quick. Attaches up here. The sax also has the clamp that keeps the mag tube extension and the barrel together, nicely aligned. Moving aft, of course, you can see I got the Magpul SGA MOE forend. Really like this. I mean, man, again, inexpensive but good. And that's the MO for Magpul, is inexpensive but good. Holy cow! I put good ahead of the inexpensive, actually. And as you can see, there's a ton of Magpul gear on this gun. There's a ton of Magpul gear on most of my guns. In fact, I got an AR that's got tons of Magpul stuff on there. So just a great company, and they make great gear. I'm just so impressed with everything I've ever gotten from them. There's very little I've ever had in the way of criticism or complaint. But anyway, it's the MOE forend, and I've got the Surefire Illumination Kit from Magpul. It's actually not really the Surefire kit, but it's made to basically fit Surefire pressure switches on the forend. And this is just a part of an XTM enhanced rail panel forward grip. It's like a few little pieces that go with some panels. And I just kept the forward one just because my hand, I tend to grip the forend a little further aft, so I use this as a stop and also as a little router for the cable here. Anyway, on the other side of the gun, let's go ahead and flip it back around again. All right, on the front, we've got the Surefire Mini Scout M300A. Yeah, I went a little crazy on this gun. I was going to go with the primary arms because it's honestly the primary arm stuff is almost just as good for 1/3 the price, 1/2 the price sometimes. And I really like primary arms products. I've got 2 of their other lights, but I just wanted the Surefire light. I think they're cool and wanted to get a little crazy, so why the hell not? So this is a Surefire M300A, and just after that is a gosh, who makes this side armor, side shell. Well, don't ask me what the heck that thing's called, but anyway, it's a forward shell carrier from Side Armor, and I had this on my Mossberg. I took it off and put it on here because this is my primary gun now, my primary shotgun anyway. So I'm at the point where I'm happy enough with this gun that this is #1 now. Anyway, this is a quick way to get some combat reloads going. Great piece of gear, love it. Clicks right in. Not inexpensive. I think it was in the $80 range. Moving aft here on this side of the gun, you can see the right side of the Mesa Tactical picatinny rail and 6-shot shell shot carrier, I think they call it. I always get tongue-tied with that. And I'll show you that on the other side too here in a minute. And right down here we got the Vang Comp Big Dome safety. Great. Like the fact that it's rounded off. It doesn't hurt when you shoot. And then of course the Magpul SGA stock. Man, I love this stock. This thing alone, I'm going to go back to my Mossberg now, which has the folding Mako stock, and I'm taking that thing off. I'm putting this on, no question. Once again, Magpul got all the ergos right. It just feels great. It's kind of like having a pistol grip. You know, I like having a pistol grip on a shotgun, but this one feels like a pistol grip. It's perfectly combined with the stock, and you have a lot of the ergos of having a pistol grip without, you know, having to weave your hand underneath the stock and all that stuff. So fantastic piece of gear, love it, highly recommend it. What I also really like about the SJ stock is the width of the butt pad back here. It's wide and it's pretty soft, so this is very comfortable to shoot actually. And I noticed this especially after my Mossberg dealing with that Mesa Tactical stock. You know, it's real lightweight, which is one of the advantages of that other stock, but it bites into your shoulder pretty good when you shoot. So if you're kind of a little bit of a wuss, then you won't want to deal with that as much, and you'll like this stock better. So anyway, we'll flip the gun back around here, probably for the duration. Stand by. All right. On the right side of the gun, one of the several mounting options here. I wanted to make the gun very versatile, but also practical. This gun is. I'm really trying not to be tactical here. This is supposed to be a very practical fighting weapon, and I maybe spent a little more money than you have to do that, but it should be good. So mounting points, I did get the sling kit. This isn't included in the SGA kit that you get from Magpul. You have to order an extra little kit, $15 plus the QD, which was $10. And then the Magpul receiver mount. This is great. I mean, this is what I'll use 90% of the time probably. Just using it single point. I like the single point methodology, but I like the ability to sling the gun over your shoulder. Who doesn't? You might need to walk with it. Here's the right side of that Mesa Tactical shell carrier, and looks really good, works really good. I've noticed that unlike my Tacstar, which was a lot cheaper on the Mossberg, these seem to move around a little bit in here, the shells. I don't think it's going to drop them, but certainly what I've done is I take it up to the brass and I push it in a little further, and the extra width of the brass seems to kind of help keep them in there. So that's what I'm doing. But it's 6 shots, and of course I can fit 7 in the tube. But here's the pressure switch. Spent a lot of time trying to find a way to mount this correctly or in a way that I would like, and this is the one part of the gun that's not fully completed yet because I didn't put the adhesive tape that goes on the back side of that to keep it from moving. But I want to make sure I really like this because I've moved it 2 times already. But the idea here is, if you're holding the stock, the forend, you should be able to wrap your thumb right here and actuate the light. And so far that seems to work pretty good. But I'm going to play with it a little longer and make sure that I like that. But let's give you a couple more angles here. The sights, I mean, man, am I happy with those. That turned out fantastic. That is just exactly what I was looking for. And if you're going to sight that right down the barrel there, it fits right between the Picatinny rail. So, the rail does take a little bit of your sight picture away. It does block a little bit, but I wanted the option of adding an optic to the gun later if I ever wanted to. I don't see that happening honestly, but that's just not what I designed this gun to do. but certainly having the option is nice. And anyway, overall, this has been a great project. I've loved it. I really love the way the gun turned out. I love having the complete flat dark earth color from the back to the front there. Just a great looking finish. And Duracoat makes a nice product. I will say no, I didn't do the best job that I could have done on this Duracoat. I was kind of in a hurry, and when I started this project, it was actually, I was going to do a low-cost project because I got the gun for free. And I thought, well, I'll just try to do an econo project, which, you know, that turned out to be a joke. But I wish I had taken my time a little bit more with it. You can't tell looking at it. You would have to really look close, but there's a couple of runs, and I put the gun together within a few hours of doing the Duracoat, which they say you can do, but I think that hurt it a little bit. There's a few marks there that I think would not have been there if I'd waited a few days to put the gun back together. But man, I am just one of those people that I love to see the final product as quickly as I can. I just couldn't wait, so I put it back together. But as a piece of advice for the Duracoat, the trick is not overdoing it. I've done this twice now, and both times I overdid it just a little bit, because when you're applying the Duracoat with the shake and spray kit, it appears to sort of splatter on. And it looks like it's not a complete coat. But what happens is those splattery areas sort of all merge together into one nice smooth finish at the end, and you got to trust that that's going to happen. So my advice, if you're thinking about Duracoating your firearm, is don't overdo it. Just do a few light coats. And then the other thing you got to watch out for is you really got to look and make sure you don't miss any spots, especially on a bigger gun, on a long gun. Because if you'll notice, there's a couple spots I missed. I just didn't notice it. But right here's one of them, right underneath the sight, right underneath the rear aperture here. If you look real close there at the, see that? I just didn't see it, so I missed it. And you know, you wouldn't really notice it. It actually looks worse on video than it does when you look at the gun in person. But little things like that I missed. I probably should have done a better job taping off the ejection port and the elevator area here. So you know, take your time with your Duracoat project. I still say it's a 9 out of 10. I could have done a 10 out of 10 if I just put a little more effort into it. So I wish I had done that. But anyway, this is my Remington 870 Police Magnum. Really happy with it. Like I said, just couldn't have been happy with my selection and components and parts. And haven't really put a lot of rounds through it yet, so time will tell on that. But you know, like I said, I like this stock so much, I'm going to go back and put it on my Mossberg now. And the configuration of this stuff may change a little bit, you know, particularly with the light mount here. Man, if Surefire would just extend this cable a little bit, I just needed a few more inches, maybe 1 or 2 more inches to work with. It's just such a short cable, and there's no way on this forend to get the light and the illumination kit, or this pressure switch. See, it's popping up there because I don't have the tape on it yet, on the same side of the forend. So you have no choice but to wrap it under, and it just feels like it's stretching the cord. I don't really like the way that looks that much. I guess it's all right. But man, I wish there was just a little more space on there, a little more length on it. Any questions? Feel free to ask. Again, I designed this to be, you know, the purpose of this gun is a home defense shotgun, primarily personal protection, and you know, I guess you could call it a tactical shotgun. I know that's a little silly, but I like the look. I like the way all these components come together to create a very tactical look. And the sights are good for low light. You know, all you need is a little bit of light, and the fiber optic is going to pick that up. So I'm a fan of that concept, because if you have a weapon light on your firearm, you really don't need night sights. You know, I mean, they're going to be kind of dim anyway. The idea there is you need the night sight because you don't have a light. So this is economical, and I mean, they're good. I don't see any downside of this at all. I think that's going to be a highly effective sighting mechanism. I got to sight it in still. So anyway, I look forward to the comments, and thank you very much.